Hello students and welcome to Lesson 9, Day 1. We'll be looking at a few new theoretical concepts. We always want to start with theory. And let's turn our attention to this. Look over here. You notice there's a flat right there and there's a flat right there. Remember when we played Deck the Halls and songs in that G position, all the F's were turned into F sharp because there was one sharp. Now when we see one flat in the key signature, this refers to B flat. You may remember that this note right here on this line is B, so that's B flat right there. So no matter what, when you see a B, you're going to play a B flat. Okay? Let's do a little note naming exercise for just this first line, because when we play the song in this lesson, we're going to get to play Amazing Grace. You're going to play notes that were in the C position and that were in the G position. So we really have to think about all the notes we've learned so far in this class. So this first note, if you guess C, you're right. Guess what these two notes are? F, F. We're going two above F. That is A, then one below it is G. Now here's our new note. It is B flat. Remember, all of them are B flats. This is an A, and this is your C right here. We're back down to D, and this is E. So if you're a little confused, go back and look at the notes we've had in our previous songs. I really encourage you now, depending on your level of confidence, to start thinking about not writing in every note. Maybe just writing a few of the notes. I don't know what kind of music reading background you've had before, but if you've had some before, or even if you just started with this class and you're really starting to know this, just get to the point where you can look at a note and you don't have to think about it. You're going to know what it is. Now let's look at our second concept. This is the concept of triplets. We've learned before that eighth notes, these notes right here, they get 1/2 of a count. And we count them like this: 1 and 2 and. However, there's a different kind of eighth note. It's over here. These are called triplet eighth notes. Now how do you know these are triplets? Look at that number 3 right there and right there. These triplet eighth notes get 1/3 of a count. And they're counted like this: 1 palet, 2 palet. Another way of counting this is 1 lolly, 2 lolly. Whatever works for you is fine with me. But here's what we have to remember. Eighth note triplets get 1/3 of a count. These guys over here, regular eighth notes, get 1/2. Now remember, 1/2 is bigger than 1/3. So when we're counting this, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 palet, 2 palet. Now notice these went by a little bit faster than these. And that's because this is 1/3 of a count, these are 1/2 of a count. Don't forget, 3 of these add up to 1 count. That's why this was 1 palet, and then this was the beginning of beat 2, 2 palet. Whereas these were 1 and 2 and. We're going to see this when we get to day 4. We're going to do Amazing Grace. We're going to have some triplets. These are very, very easy to feel, very easy to count. But remember, if you've got a piece that has eighth note triplets and then regular eighth notes, the eighth note triplets go a little bit faster because they're only 1/3 of a count, and 1/3 is smaller than 1/2. I know that's a lot of math here. Don't worry, we're going to show you in day 4 how to count these and how they're going to work. Final theory concept we want to learn. We've learned a lot about chords. But all the chords we've had so far, the major chords and the minor chords, only had 3 notes. But now we're going to learn something called the 7th chord. There's different types of 7th chords. This one is denoted like this. You see C and a 7th chord, and you can have a D 7th chord and an A 7th chord. In this song, we're just going to mess with the C 7th chord. So look down here. I've written out all the notes in the C 7th chord. Notice you're going to have 4 notes now in a chord. You're going to play C, E, and G, just like your regular C major chord, but you're going to add on this B flat. This explains why it's called C7. Think about in your alphabet: C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. That's 7 letters. The B flat is 7 letters up from C. I explained in that lesson why it's B, in the chord lesson, why it's going to be B flat and not regular B. Now you can play this seventh chord two ways. You can play it like this. I have got all the chords on top of all the notes on top of each other, C, E, G, and B flat. But remember what we've been doing so far. We've been doing different versions of chords. So in this song, in Amazing Grace, you want to play E, G, B flat, and C. And I'm going to show you why in our coming up lesson. But remember how in some of the songs it's been easier to do this version of the chord rather than another version of the chord. It all has to do with where your hands are and how can we minimize the motions of our hands. Okay? So go back, review your notes from some of your earlier songs, review some of your chords, and in the next lesson I'm going to show you the main chords we're going to use in the song. We're going to use F, B flat, and C. And then when we do the jazz version of Amazing Grace, we're going to do this C7 chord. Okay? I'll see you in the next lesson.